The real problem, which, by the way, no one ever talks about, is that everywhere we look at society, we celebrate victimhood. We are no longer celebrating people who put in the work. We are no longer celebrating people who overcome. Instead, we are celebrating people who have the saddest story. Instead, we are talking about and competing for the attention about who suffered the most.
Often I have the expression that everything worthwhile is uphill. That's a fact. You've never heard someone talk about accidental achievements. You've never heard someone that got to the top of the mountain and somebody asked them, how did you get there? Kind of look confused and say, I have no idea. They know how they got there.
People have a totally misconstrued vision and perception of how long it takes and what it takes. And because of that, when it's hard or it takes longer than they want it to take or things don't go their way, they automatically fall back on the excuse of, it wasn't meant for them, or the universe is against them, or, they start to believe in the lottery principle of success, like the success fairy that comes down and picks certain people, right? Instead of just saying, hey, I haven't been doing this long enough, or I haven't been working hard enough, or I haven't been doing what it takes, it's easier to put the blame off somewhere else, except that in your mind that success is something that is luck-based or chance-based or happenstance, instead of just taking responsibility and say, hey, I didn't do what it takes.
Warren Buffett, Gordon Ramsay, Michael Jordan, Kobe, Tim Tebow. What do those guys have in common? One thing, okay? And it's not because they're in Hollywood or doing something in Hollywood. They all have one major thing in common, dude. Unbelievable. It equals work ethic, okay? These people hammer. They beat it to death. So look, you want to get your work ethic so high that people actually admire you. I'm going to ask you a question right now. Do people know you because of your unbelievable work ethic? If you can't answer yes to that, man, you're not going to get in that top 10%. You got to get to the top. People have to know you, not because, oh, he's a good salesman. Oh, he's a good this. Oh, he's an artist. Oh, he's a good pianist. Oh, he writes a great, story. No, dude, people need to know you for one major thing first. He works. He produces. The guy's there every day. The guy's pushing and shoving. Because the truth is, no matter how good your ideas are, how good your art is, or how good your skill set is, if you're not working, man, if you're not vibrating at a frequency that people say, my God, how does that guy do all that? If you're not vibrating at that rate, 10x levels, massive action, tremendous work ethic that's just a muscle now, and it's just a discipline in your life, and it's a normal way that other people think is abnormal. Look, if you're not working at that level, you're not going to make it. Get your work ethic in, man. It's the American way, work ethic.
One thing that people don't talk enough about is how much hard work it actually takes to succeed. Just sheer time and effort. I think one of the great things about building a big business is the process.
They had to walk all the way up the mountain. Nobody lifted that. There were no shortcuts. There's not an elevator. There's not an escalator. It's all effort that gets you to the top of the mountain. There are a whole lot of people, they want to be inspired in great things, but they don't want to do the hard work to achieve those great things. It's not either or, it's both and. So I really trust today that you will just kind of roll up your sleeves, look at something you haven't tackled for a while, dive in. You'll be amazed that once after you do the work, you get inspired. Don't wait to get inspired before you do the work.
There is never a bad time when you believe, when you work hard, and when you know what you're doing. But you have to do, this is where it's crucial. You have to do what you love. What you do is you position yourself to succeed. So for example, if you're doing something else and you want to do this thing you love, you do it after hours. You work 9 to 6, you get home, you kiss the dog, and you go to town. Right? I mean, you start building your equity and your brand and whatever you're trying to accomplish after hours. Everybody has time. Stop watching Lost. If you want this, if you want bling bling, if you want to buy the jets, if you want to do work, that's how you get it.
LeBron shows up. This dude comes in 15 minutes before practice, and LeBron gives him that look like, hey dude, what's going on here? He's like, what do you mean I'm 15 minutes early? He's like, should have been here an hour ago. They worked, okay? It wasn't about just their talent. It was about their work ethic. People knew them for their work ethic. So just ask yourself this week, do people know you for your work ethic? People like, man, you work hard. Or people actually commenting about you showing up early and staying late? Because if they're not, then you're just blending in with everybody else's work ethic. At the end of the day, talent will not win the game. It is work ethic that will win the game.
4-letter dirty word. W-O-R-K. That's kind of a dirty, disgusting word. You see, I think a lot of people, they really truly believe that there should be an elevator in life, and they just push the button and it just delivers them to the floor they want to get on, and they don't have to take effort, they don't have to take stairs, there's no process to it. It's just kind of like, shouldn't it just happen? Well, it doesn't. We have all discovered and found that basically life is this way. What you put into it is what you get out of it. So many people, they're looking at getting out of something before they put something into it. It's kind of like the farmer who never sows the seed, never cultivates the soil, but goes out every day and looks at that dirt on his acreage in the farm and basically expects it to be producing some kind of fruit or some kind of a vegetable for them. Doesn't happen. Not going to happen. You got to sow, you got to cultivate, and then you reap. Well, that's what work is. So I don't know what you're putting off that you need to be doing, but I just want you to know that until you do it, you're not going to have the result that you want.
The best ability is availability. You might outwork me for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, but you ain't gonna beat me over a year. You can't outwork me over 2 years. You aren't gonna outwork me over 3 years. I'm gonna get you eventually. I'm a dripping damn faucet. I just keep coming at you. You might think I'm knocked out, I just keep coming. I'm too damn tough to give up. Most people half their life all the time. I knew they were gonna get tired. They were gonna flinch. They were gonna get down. They may not quit, they might send a letter of resignation. They quit getting wide. They quit recruiting people. They quit improving themselves. They start sleeping in. They spend all their damn money. I'm not gonna do that stuff. I'm gonna save money. I'm gonna get up early. I'm gonna keep getting wide. I'm gonna stay relentless.
Work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in, 80 to 100 hour weeks every week. All those things improve the odds of success. If other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, then even if you're doing the same thing, you know that in 1 year you will achieve what they achieve. You will achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to achieve.
And I've never worked harder since, and it's been compounded. The moment I'm working harder right this second than I ever have in my entire life. Just wanted to put all of you on notice, like, you're not working as hard as I am. And I wanted to do that because people think they're putting in enough work. They're just not. I was just having hundreds of conversations where people thought they were working hard enough for their ambition. That's the key. Like, if your ambition, your ambition dictates what you have to do. And I'm happy when people have ambitions that allow them to work 40 hours a week and they're thrilled. I just want as many people to fall asleep at night the way I do. And I think the only way you really do that is you have a real conversation, because everybody's themselves. There's a lot of push towards being a workaholic, and hard work is a learned behavior. I see it in my team. There's people that come into I've seen it in the thousands of employees I've had, which is the closer they are to the sun, the harder they work. And so I definitely feel like I learned hard work by watching my parents. And so it's why I talk so much about hustle. Like, you're gonna only be so pretty, you're only gonna be so smart, there's things that are gonna be natural, and then there's things that you can actually control. I do believe, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong, I don't, but I do believe that work ethic is a taught behavior. It's something you do have more control over. I feel like there's a shift that can make people work harder. The big one that I push is, you're gonna die. Like if you're to me, life is broken down into complaining and not. So if you're not complaining, well then I have no advice for you. I'm pumped. Like, you did it. There's so many people that are talking about how big of an entrepreneur they're gonna be and how much they're gonna achieve, and they don't work on weekends. I worked every Saturday of my 20s. And I talk to 20-year-old entrepreneurs every single day. Lately, I've been saying to them, this Saturday, you're gonna have more time off than I've had in my entire 20s. on a Saturday. So like before you tell me how you're gonna be bigger than me, start thinking about what you're actually doing.